Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Montgomery County Council President Gabe Albornoz, and today is Thursday, October 27th. We appreciate everybody being here today for this council session. The purpose of this council session is to vote on the 5 temporary acting appointments to the Montgomery County Planning Board. I'm going to make some comments and then yield to any of my colleagues that would like to make some opening comments as well, and then we will go through the formal motion and vote process to nominate these extraordinary people that have been willing to step forward, and we really appreciate. But I want to begin by this way. I see a number of staff from both the Parks Department and Planning Department in the audience, and I know are tuning in from their respective offices. And I just want to begin by acknowledging and thanking all of you for your commitment, for your dedication, your hard work, not just over these last 2 months, but throughout all of your professional careers. Your work is important, never been more important than right now, and we greatly appreciate and respect the partnership between the council as well as the planning board, but the staff as well. So thank you all for being here in the audience today. Given the unprecedented challenges that we have experienced these last few weeks, the council is moving forward to select a diverse group of experienced leaders who will reset operations, support the park and planning staff, and provide a bridge to the next planning board. The council's goal with these temporary acting appointments was to select highly qualified applicants that reflect Montgomery County's diversity in background, experience, and party affiliations. Restoring trust in the agency is our primary responsibility. The council is confident that this group of dedicated individuals will immediately hit the ground running and work collaboratively with Acting Planning Director Tanya Stern and Park and Planning staff to restore the public's confidence in park and planning. The temporary members will also perform the critical functions of the planning board and move planning projects and services forward for residents. The council was fortunate to have many qualified individuals who applied to serve as temporary acting members of the planning board. On behalf of all of my colleagues, we want to extend our gratitude to the more than 100 civically minded residents who stepped forward during this time of need. It was just an embarrassment of riches, frankly, of the quality of experience and individuals willing to step forward. This, fortunately, was a difficult decision for this council. The next Montgomery County Council will be charged with selecting the new planning board members who will serve out the remaining terms of the members. And we do want to stress numerous times that these are temporary appointments. And if those temporary members so choose to apply for the full term, they have the ability to do so, but simply serving in a temporary capacity will not give anyone a leg up. This will be reset, and there will be an opportunity by this next council to vote on the full terms. Once the new council is inaugurated on December 5th, the process will begin to fill 3 planning board positions, which we expect to do by March 1st, 2023. And the remaining 2 positions, including the chair, which is expected by June 14th, 2023. We are doing this to ensure continuity of service. Rather than appointing all 5 at the same time, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to reappoint 5 6 months later or less than that, and so this will help with, we believe, continuity of service. And before I get to the formal motion, I'd like to now pause and see if any of my colleagues would like to make some comments. And before I do that, I want to recognize that we are wearing pink today in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and really want to extend our leadership to Councilmember Navarro, who presented a very emotional proclamation that really honored her sister a couple of days ago. So thank you so much, Councilmember Navarro. And with that, I will yield to Council Vice President Glass, who I believe would like to make some remarks.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think you did a really good job of explaining the situation that we've been dealing with over the last number of weeks. And this has been an unprecedented situation. Some people have even called it a crisis, but this council stepped in and acted swiftly to restore public confidence in our public institutions, namely the Planning Department and the Commission. And the confirmations we are nominations we're going to make today is just another step in returning confidence to our planning department. I just want to thank the 128 individuals who offered their expertise and their talents to serve in this interim acting capacity. If there's anything that this process has shown us, it's that we have a wealth of knowledge amongst our 1.1 million residents. People who are so knowledgeable at so many different levels, international, national, local, statewide, and they stepped in because they saw the need. And I just want to thank them all for stepping up. And the 5 individuals who will be filling those spots in a temporary acting capacity are going to help us steer back towards having confidence in the planning board so that we all can continue moving forward, doing the hard work of making sure there is more housing, making sure that we bring more economic opportunity to this community. And that's the integral work that they do. And as the council president noted, the positions will be made permanent by the next council, which is really important as we are in a transition period, and there will be a majority of the new council members who are new. And so they and their voices are really important in the conversation of where we go and who permanently fills those seats. And so I just want to thank my colleagues for the many deliberations, to the public for their concern and thoughts, and I look forward to working with these 5 interim acting planning board members once they get to work, which is right away. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Vice President Glass. I'll just a couple of housekeeping notes. The first is our colleague and friend, Councilmember Reamer, and chair of our Fed committee could not be here today as he has a family issue and that he is dealing with, and we send him our best wishes as well as his family. And Councilmember Hucker is on his way and hopefully will be here soon. But if he is not here in time for the formal vote, then we will certainly note that vote at the next appropriate time. But he has indicated his full support for the nominees that we have before us today. So unless there are any objections, colleagues, what we will do is vote all the resolutions in block to appoint the 5 temporary members. And if anyone objects to this, we can take a hand vote on the question or simply take a vote on each resolution. Are there any objections to that process? Seeing none? Oh, hello. Perfect timing. Good to see you, Councilmember Hucker. Perfect. So acting on behalf of Council Member Reamer today and both members of our Fed committee will be taking on the next portion of the conversation. So with that, I'll turn it over to Councilmember Friedson.
Thank you, Council President Albornoz. Thank you, colleagues. As Council Vice President and the Council President noted, we are fortunate in Montgomery County to have such a wealth of residents who are extremely qualified to serve the public in a variety of capacities, as evidenced by the incredible pool of applicants who expressed interest in serving in these crucial roles at this critical time. The nominees that I'm putting forward before the Council today for temporary acting planning board members reflect Montgomery County's diversity in their backgrounds, their experience, and their party affiliation. I'll make brief comments and remarks on each nominee and move the formal resolutions to make the appointments as a block, as Council President Albornoz just noted. First, let me begin with Jeffrey Zients, who started his career at Montgomery Planning in 1974 and has held various positions at the Maryland National Park and Planning Commission, including serving 8 years as chief of the countywide planning division. He also is a former legislative attorney here at the council, where he rewrote the county zoning ordinance and worked on countless land use and planning issues. Mr. Zients is a Democrat and lives in Rockville. Amy Presley is a former member of the Montgomery County Planning Board, where she set policies on growth, transportation, and environmental protection. She became involved in planning through her community activism as president of the Clarksburg Town Center Advisory Committee, Inc., and she is the managing partner of Trusted Estate Partners. Ms. Presley is a Republican and a Clarksburg resident. Sherry Branson is the former director of the Montgomery County Office of Procurement, where she managed a staff of 37 and oversaw a $4.4 million annual budget. She's also a lawyer and a former member of the Montgomery County Council, where she served nearly 1 year to complete the term of former council member Valerie Irvin. Ms. Branson is a Democrat and lives in Silver Spring. David Hill served on the City of Rockville's Planning Commission for a decade, and prior to that, he was a member of the city's Board of Appeals. He currently works as a senior systems analyst at Westat. Mr. Hill is an unaffiliated registered voter and a Rockville resident. For nearly 20 years, Robert Pinheiro has been a senior analyst focused on housing, financial markets, and community investment in the U.S. Government Accountability Office. He is also a former member of the Housing Opportunities Commission. He stepped down as a member of Montgomery County Board of Appeals recently, and Mr. Pinheiro is a Democrat and lives in Silver Spring. With that, colleagues, I am now honored to be able to move the resolutions to appoint temporary acting planning board members as follows. Jeffrey Zients to serve as temporary acting planning board chair. Amy Presley to serve as temporary acting planning board vice chair. Cherie Branson to serve as temporary acting planning board member. David Hill to serve as temporary acting planning board member. And Roberto Pinheiro to serve as a temporary acting planning board member. The resolution templates making the appointments are reflected at Circle 5 of the staff packet for colleagues and for those watching from home. And with that, I will move that forward.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Mr. President. Yes, I'd like to formally second the motion as a member of the Fed Committee, but also this body, and congratulate all of the amazing nominees that I know will help steer the ship and move it forward. So, second.
Thank you. And I'll note just in discussion that one of the nominees could not be here with us today, dealing also with a family emergency, and that's Mr. Roberto Pinheiro. And immediately following this vote, the 4 nominees who are here will be sworn in same day, so that they can begin to get to work right away. And as soon as Mr. Pinheiro is back in town, he will be sworn in as well. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of these nominations, please raise your hands. And that is unanimous among all those present. Congratulations. Thank you all very much. So just a couple of other housekeeping. I also want to encourage residents to apply to serve on the county's Board of Appeals. The council is now seeking applicants for 2 positions on the Board of Appeals. One position is to fill a partial term set to expire September 23rd due to Mr. Pinheiro's resignation and appointment as temporary acting planning board member. The position may be filled by a Democrat. The second position is due to the end of the term of Mr. Melnick. This vacancy is for a full term of 4 years and can be filled by a Republican. An unaffiliated registered voter with another political party recognized by the Board of Election, Mr. Melnick has indicated that he will reapply for this position. Applications must be received by the council no later than November 14th at 5 p.m., and a press release will go out later today with this information and will be posted on the council's website. With that, colleagues, our meeting today is adjourned. Thank you all very much.